guys. So we are starting this new channel called Epilepsy Moms because we are both epilepsy moms. I'm Summer. This is Liz. We are going to just quickly introduce ourselves and then talk about the purpose of our channel. So I have been married for 16 years. I have 4 kids. I am a K-5 substitute teacher, and my hobbies are going for walks, camping. I like to bake, and I really like the idea of gardening, but I kill everything. So I'm working on that.
I do too.
Work in progress. Yeah, I think that's it. Your turn, Liz.
Okay, so hi, I'm Liz, and I have been married to my husband. We are high school sweethearts, and I've been married to him for 11 years. I also have 3 kids, and my kids' ages are, let's see, my oldest is 10, almost 11, and my middle, who is the one who has epilepsy, she is 7, and my youngest is 4, almost 5, which I can't believe it's that fast. It went by fast. I own my own salon and I work full time. I'm a 12-year stylist. I live in my childhood home, and on my spare time, I like to paint and listen to music, but I also like the outdoors. So hikes are also awesome. And I am also a Christian. The purpose of our channel is to bring awareness to epilepsy. There are so many people that go straight to YouTube for either help, support, ideas on so many things. I know me and Summer both went to YouTube and we couldn't find anything, or they want to feel like they're being heard or anything. They want to just feel like they're talking to someone and they can relate to someone. And I know that I had a hard time with that. There was people around me that I had to find that it was not, I mean, sometimes it's not easy finding people. I mean, Summer can attest to that. It's not easy finding people. I mean, even though it's such a common thing, you know, epilepsy is pretty common. It's not a very rare thing. It's still hard finding those people to be able to connect with. So that's what we're here for.
Yeah. I was the only person I knew with a child that had epilepsy. And it was like, well, what do I do? I don't know what to do. So I went to YouTube looking for other moms who could tell me their experience, and there was nothing. So we just don't want you guys to be starting this journey and not having something. Like, we want you guys to have some kind of support, and there is support out there. So comment below if you guys have questions or topics or things that you are wondering about, and we will try to do videos answering those questions too.
We also have an email. So
yes.
If you want to share your story, we won't I feel like once a month, we'll probably do like a story time where we literally just grab people's stories that they want to share with us, or you can do it anonymously, or you can put your name and we can say it out loud. But if you want to share your story, definitely do that. And down below in the description box, we'll have it posted so that you can just kind of copy and paste it into your email and then email us directly.
And definitely write if you want it shared or do not want it shared. And yeah, we will try to do what your wishes are.
And we'll respond back to as many as we can.
Yeah. And we are new to YouTube, so please be aware, bear with us as we try to figure out like lighting and sound and all that stuff, because we just wanted to like get it out there that, you know, there's other people going through this, and so we're not experts in how to make videos.
Well, when I put it on Facebook, because I had the interest and we had thought of this, and I put it on Facebook thinking like this was going to be a great thing, and I wanted to, you know, just kind of get everyone's feelers out there, and I put it on the Facebook group of I think it's parents with epilepsy kids. I think there's more to it, but anyways, I put it on the group, and I was not expecting to get almost 100 likes on it. And I don't even know how many comments are on there, just being like, yes, add me to it.
Yeah. Hopefully we can share things that help you guys in your journey. So my epilepsy journey is pretty new. Journey with my son started this year in 2021. he started to show signs in around February of 2021. We noticed he was getting really spacey, and we'd be having conversations, and all of a sudden he's talking with us back and forth, and then doing this for just a few seconds at a time. And those seconds would get longer sometimes, and then shorter sometimes, always less than 10 seconds. And we thought it was kind of strange. We were like, this is odd, but he would always say, oh, I'm just tired, or I was just thinking about something. And he'd come back to the conversation. And we thought, well, this is kind of odd. And I do remember one time it lasted pretty long. And I said, are you having seizures? And he was like, no, I'm just tired. I'm just thinking about stuff. And I was like, okay. And so anyway, over the summer, we were on vacation. He had a clonic tonic seizure. And that's when we knew, okay, there is something wrong. And we will get into our specific stories later on in detail, so you guys can know more about where our kids are. So my son is 14. So he is like in the midst of puberty. He had no seizures before this. So it's a new thing, and we are just new to this journey. We're just starting it, and there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of things that you're going to be faced with, a lot of doctor's appointments and medicines. And so we're going to get into, we have like 6 points, like 6 things that are going to be coming up for you if you are just starting this. So go ahead, Liz, and you can start with those.
So my daughter was diagnosed at 2 and she's 7. So we've been going through it for 5 years, and it was actually October. So when she was diagnosed, which was so weird because it seems like every year the close to around the month that she started the journey in the beginning, she now has almost like relapses every year around that same time. And so we've always been able, like, she doesn't have any triggers. So like, we've been able to kind of be like, okay, so meds are probably going to need to be either increased or whatever. So with my journey, I've gone through quite a bit of medications and all that kind of stuff. So we're not super new to the whole situation, but we're kind of almost in that, like, we're right out of that honeymoon, phase where it's been a little while and we're really starting to grasp what's going on, but there's still so many new things that come and hit you. And then you're like back on the ground basically. And that's not uncommon. Like it's, I know people who have been going through it. Like I have a family member who has been going through it with her son for, oh my gosh, he's almost 11. And so it's been 11 years, 10 or 11 years for her that he's been diagnosed. Mm-hmm. And I know she was a big support for me in the very beginning, especially because I didn't have anybody, I didn't know anybody. And it was really hard. So finding that, person, like I said, in the very beginning is something that, can be so helpful. And then we, so our second key point is we've had lots of trial runs with meds. So with myself, I'd have to go back and look, and we can talk about that more when we get to the medication side of things. But she has been on probably 2 handfuls of meds, not all at the same time, obviously, but we've gone through lots of different variations of meds and lots of different combinations, and there's lots of them. And
we are in the midst of transitioning medications right now. And
okay,
so
yeah.
A lot of what people are going to experience or are experiencing is that transitioning from one to another, it can be a difficult process, and it takes time, and
it takes a lot of time.
Yeah. It's a long process. And then just waiting to see too, if those new medications are going to be helpful, because if they don't respond to those or have really bad side effects, then you're going to be transitioning again. So
sometimes it can take up to 3 weeks for the kids' bodies to adjust to a new medication. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you could be dealing with seizures for longer than you expected because it's not built up in their body enough. And you're number 3, you're going to have a lot of doctor's appointments, so many doctor's appointments that you're going to want to be able to put your child's life in their hands and feel safe. Because if you don't feel safe, you're going to struggle through this whole journey because you're going to contradict everything they say, which is what I did. I contradicted everything they said because I was hearing so many other things from other epilepsy moms, because I finally started meeting a couple, and I was like, oh, she should be getting levels checked. Like, what does that mean? Or what, she should be getting blood draws for this because of this medication. And I just didn't understand. And I had pharmacists tell me like, how, like, when was the last time that she's had her blood drawn and had a level check? Because this is quite a bit of medication. And I'm like, whoa, really? Like, okay, this is probably why she's acting like this, and having these reactions to these medications. So it's definitely one of those like eye-opener moments. You need to be able to trust your doctor and find that doctor. So having a lot of doctor appointments is going to be a necessary thing.
Yeah, it's going to be
checkups.
A big part of your life. Yeah, when we started, I immediately got a neurologist, but she wasn't a specialist in epilepsy. And I just took her because she was the only person that would see us within a few weeks. And so we just took her and saw her, and she had great bedside manner. I love her. She's a wonderful doctor. She's not a specialist in epilepsy. And so when we were having problems, she would come back to me and be like, well, what do you think? What do you want to do in this situation? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not the doctor. So I immediately went and got us an appointment with the specialist. He was at least on medication by this point. And then I knew I had this new doctor coming, and I was able to, it was really simple. I know I was really worried. I didn't want to hurt her feelings because I liked her, but it's really a simple process. Doctors know and expect that you'll be changing physicians at some time. And so I just let the office know, and they asked me why. And I said, well, I love this doctor, but I really want a specialist in what is happening with my son. And it was no big deal. They said, oh, that's fine. And we let both doctors know why you're switching, and they're fine with that. And so, yeah, it's not really something to worry about. It can bother parents sometimes, but it's fine. You have to advocate for your child. And that's what that is. Switching doctors if you need to. And I think that's our next point, right? Mm-hmm. Is advocacy, because you are going to have to stand up and advocate for your child. Sometimes it's not comfortable. Sometimes you have to talk to teachers and let them know, like, this is the situation.
A lot of times.
Yeah. Or sports, coaches. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's a lot where you're going to have to stand up, and it's okay. It's okay. Mm-hmm. And people really, I have found, are pretty open to and want to know what's going on, and they want to help. And I think sometimes we feel embarrassed, like, oh, well, I don't want to say there's something wrong with my child, but mm-hmm. really it's in the best interest of their health and safety. So is there anything else you had about advocacy?
A lot of people ask me, are you going to let her have a normal life? And that to me is also kind of part of that advocation thing, because you want to advocate for their normal life. You want to make their life as normal as you can. And you want to shelter them to some degree, but you also want them to have normal, in their life, because their life is not normal. So you want to show them that in your not normal life, there's going to be normal things that are going to happen and that you're going to have to get through. And so you need to advocate for yourself and your child in that sense too, because if you don't, you're going to get knocked down to the ground again. And then you're going to feel like you're alone when you're not.
Yeah. And I think that's the whole point of us doing this, is that we don't want anyone to feel alone. That's how I felt when it started. And it's important that we reach out to people. I'm sorry, there's a fly in here.
I actually saw it.
What did you? Won't leave me alone. So yes, we want you to know it's okay to reach out. And if you need support, like, ask for it. Tell people it's okay. As soon as we came back from our vacation, the first thing I did was I called my neighbors. I don't know my neighbors super well, but I had 2 ladies that live near me that I know are safe people, and that they have kids too, and they're really great with their children. And I immediately called them and was like, if something happens, can I call you to watch my other kids? Because I might have to take him in. And they were like, yes, of course, absolutely. And you need that. You need backup and people that you can rely on. And that is how I found Liz, because I was telling friends, all over the place, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I need help. Like, and somebody knew somebody who had a child with epilepsy, and it happened to be Liz. And they were like, well, we'll get you her phone number and she'll be someone that you can talk to who's already been in this journey and can kind of help guide you. So yes.
I remember when she came to me and she was like, oh my gosh, I have this friend and I don't know her very well, but I have this friend. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, can she have your phone number or your, whatever, a way to contact you so that you guys can talk? Because her and I were talking about Ember, and it was so funny on how it just all connected. And I was like, oh yeah, totally. I'll totally talk to her. Like, it was no big deal.
We truly aren't alone, right? Like we feel like I thought I was the only one in the world with a child with epilepsy, but I wasn't. It's just, you sometimes do have to get out there and talk to people so that you can find somebody who's, gonna understand where you're coming from and what you're going through. Because not everybody is gonna be able to understand. And so our next video we want to do is going to be called You Are Not Alone. And we want to talk more about what you'll be facing and that you're not alone and we're in this together, and just giving more tips and advice and to help you guys on your journey.
Research is the biggest part of the journey, because you want to make sure that you're doing your research, not just listening to us, because we're not medical professionals at all. We are just two moms that love our kids and that we want to help as many people, even if we can help one person. We're just here for you and ourselves to get through this journey and with our families. But you still need to do your research. You still need to talk to your doctors. And that kind of goes into our next 6 key point, would be not knowing, what you're talking about, and learning the language of the doctors. You're going to learn what medications are and what all the medications do. And by trial and error, you're going to learn everything. You're going to learn what an SEEG is. You're going to learn what an fMRI is. You're going to learn all that kind of stuff because of the things that you're going to experience with your child. So you are not alone, again, in the sense of the research part of things, because you have your doctor that you can hopefully rely on, and they can really be that ear if you have questions. I mean, we can only answer so many questions because, again, we're not medical professionals. So you need to make sure that you're constantly talking to your doctor and finding that doctor
supports you, cares about your child, that you feel comfortable with. So really important that you find the right doctor for you and for your child. And yes, definitely going to re-emphasize, we are not medical professionals. Please do what your doctor says. But if you have mom questions, or just want somebody, a listening ear, or somebody to hear their experience, like that's what we're here for, is to just share it. Yep, sounds good. So we will try to be back here next week and see you guys again.
All right.
Bye.